The Galactic Council's medical bay hummed with the soft blue light of scanning equipment as Dr. Zelthor adjusted the calibration settings one final time. The human ambassador, Commander Sarah Chen, sat calmly on the examination platform, her dark eyes reflecting nothing but mild curiosity. It was a routine procedure. All species underwent genetic mapping before formal admission to the Council. A formality, really. Nothing more. "This will take only a moment, Commander," Zelthor said, his translator rendering his chittering clicks into smooth English. "Standard protocol for all new species." Sarah nodded, her lips curving into an easy smile. "Take your time, Doctor. I've been through worse." The Vrexian physician activated the scanner, and the sophisticated machinery began its work, peeling back layers of genetic code with precision that had cataloged 10,000 species across the galaxy. Zelthor had performed this scan countless times. He expected the usual markers: evolutionary adaptations to a homeworld-specific conditions, resistance to certain pathogens, perhaps some interesting metabolic quirks. Humans were already proving unusual with their persistence hunting and throwing accuracy, but nothing the Council couldn't accommodate. Then the alerts began. The first chime made Zelthor's sensory stalks twitch. The second brought him closer to the display. By the third, he had summoned his entire research team. Within minutes, the medical bay filled with xenobiologists, genetic specialists, and senior council members. They crowded around the holographic display, their various appendages pointing, gesturing, and in some cases recoiling from what they saw. "This cannot be accurate," murmured Ambassador Thrin, the Celestian delegate whose people had held their council seat for 15,000 years. "Run it again." They ran it 4 more times. The results remained unchanged. Dr. Zelthor's voice carried a tremor that 17 years of professional training couldn't quite suppress. "Commander Chen, are you aware of your genetic heritage?" Sarah raised an eyebrow. "I know my parents, if that's what you're asking. Mom's from Hong Kong, dad's from California. Pretty standard human background." "Standard," Zelthor repeated, the word coming out as more of a wheeze. He manipulated the holographic display, rotating the genetic helix so everyone could see. "Commander, your DNA contains clear genetic markers from 3 separate apex predator lineages. Not distant evolutionary cousins. Not trace elements. Dominant active sequences." The room fell silent except for the ambient hum of machinery. Sarah leaned forward, genuinely intrigued now. "I'm sorry, what?" Zelthor highlighted 3 distinct genetic sequences, each pulsing with different colors in the display. "The first sequence matches what your people call Tyrannosaurus rex, a creature that dominated your planet's ecosystem 66 million years ago. Bite force capable of crushing bone, binocular vision evolved for hunting, an olfactory system that could track prey across vast distances." Sarah's expression shifted from confusion to fascination. "The second," Zelthor continued, his voice steadying as he fell into the comfort of clinical analysis, "corresponds to Megalodon, an oceanic predator from your Cenozoic era. The genetic markers indicate adaptations for deep diving, pressure resistance, and most remarkably, the ability to detect electrical fields generated by living creatures." "And the third?" Sarah asked quietly. "Smilodon fatalis, your saber-toothed cat. Ambush predator, powerful muscular structure, social hunting behaviors." Zelthor turned to face her directly. "Commander, these aren't vestigial remnants. These are active genetic sequences, integrated into your baseline human genome. Your species didn't just evolve alongside these predators, you carry them forward." Ambassador Thrin stepped closer, his crystalline form refracting the medical bay's light into rainbow patterns across the walls. "In 30,000 years of Council history, we have never encountered a species that carries the genetic legacy of its planet's apex predators. Most species evolve from prey animals, developing intelligence as a survival mechanism against predation. But humans," he paused, searching for words, "humans are predators who learn to think." "That's not entirely accurate," interrupted Dr. Zelthor, pulling up another data stream. "According to our scans, humans also carry genetic markers from several prey species. Your ancestors were simultaneously hunter and hunted. You developed persistence, tool use, and social cooperation not from a position of dominance but from necessity. You were never the strongest, never the fastest, never the most specialized. You survived by being adaptable, and somehow along that evolutionary path, you absorbed the traits of every apex predator that ever threatened you. Sarah stood up from the examination platform, her movement unconsciously smooth and predatory. The assembled council members instinctively stepped back, all except Zelthor, who held his ground with scientific determination. "So what does this mean for my species' application to the council?" Sarah asked. The question hung in the sterile air. Thrin's form pulsed with contemplative light. Other delegates exchanged glances, their alien features unreadable to Sarah but clearly communicating concern to each other. Finally, Zelthor spoke. "Commander, the Council has admitted civilizations of prey species who overcome their fear through technology. We have admitted predator species who transcend their hunting instincts through philosophy and art. But never have we encountered a species that embodies both predator and prey, that carries the genetic memory of every dominant creature to ever walk their world." He paused. "It changes nothing officially. Your species' technological development, social structures, and cultural achievements already qualified you for membership, but it explains much." "Explains what?" Sarah's voice carried an edge now. "Why you don't give up," said a new voice. Council Administrator Kren had been observing silently from the back of the room. The molluscan elder rippled forward on waves of ambulatory flesh. His voice translated through neural interface. "Every species faces extinction events. Natural disasters, resource collapses, self-destructive wars. Most species either prevent these catastrophes through caution or succumb to them, but humans survive them. You've been to the brink 17 times in your recorded history, and 17 times you've clawed your way back." Kren's sensory clusters focused entirely on Sarah. "We thought it was stubbornness, or perhaps statistical anomaly, but now we understand. You carry extinction in your very genes. Every strand of your DNA remembers species that once ruled your world and then vanished. You are built from the memory of loss, shaped by the knowledge that dominance is temporary and survival requires adaptation. You don't fear extinction. You've internalized it, made it part of your genetic identity, and so you prepare for it, plan against it, fight it with every tool at your disposal." Sarah stood silent for a long moment, processing this revelation. Finally, she smiled, a distinctly human expression that showed teeth in a way that suddenly seemed far more significant to the assembled aliens. "Well," she said, "I guess that explains why we keep getting back up." The council voted unanimously to admit humanity 3 days later. They also, in an unprecedented move, established new protocols for any future contact with Earth's biosphere. The planet that had produced humanity, they reasoned, deserved special attention. After all, any world that could forge a sentient species from the genetic legacy of its most fearsome predators was a world to be respected.